My name is Ralph, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a fantastic way how you can relax your postural muscles and at the same time tone them. We've all been in the situation before where you've spent the whole day at work and you just can't seem to keep yourself upright. You're tired, you're exhausted, you want to have a good posture, but you just can't. In this video I'm going to be here showing you a yoga type of pose. It's what we do at the end of yoga, and it's the one pose we always look forward to, and it helps to relax the body, and at the same time we're going to use it to tone and rejuvenate the postural muscles. All you need is a few pillows, maybe a yoga mat on the floor, and I'll show you how it's done. But before we go into it, I just want to go through a couple of key points so that we can get the most out of this exercise. When bending forward for long periods of time, the primary breathing muscle, the diaphragm, it's a dome-shaped muscle just under the ribs, it gets constricted and we end up breathing shallowly. It can't do its work properly. So what we'll be doing is we'll be lifting the chest to give it some space. So we'll be lifting the chest to give it some space here. But we don't want to jut the bottom ribs out. If we do that, we'll be overarching the back and possibly even pinching the back. You don't want to do that. So we keep those bottom ribs contained inwards, but we lift the sternum. The other area to look at is the just under the collarbones. That area will also be drawing in and up towards the head. And this also then helps to release the neck. If we look at the sideways picture of the spine, this is the neck, the thoracic, and the lumbar curves. It's like this. So when we bend forward, the thoracic curve opens up. These muscles and ligaments between the vertebrae, they become stretched. And being stretched for long periods of time, they actually become weak as well. What we'll be doing is we'll be gently drawing the top thoracic vertebra down, the middle thoracic in, and the bottom thoracic vertebra up. And this will help return the thoracic curve back to its original position. And the muscles, when they stretch for long periods of time, they don't work. So now they're switched off. We're going to help switch them back on again. Let's see how we're going to be doing all this. As I said earlier, all you need is a couple of pillows. I've got a yoga bolster and some normal pillows here. The height of the pillows will depend on you. We don't want any discomfort or pain while you're in this resting position. It should feel really, really good. People with a very stiff back will use a more shallow pillow or a few shallow pillows. And then the pillows for the neck, for the head, will depend on your neck. We don't want the neck to overarch back or forward, and we want it to be comfortable. So find what works for you. Experiment with it. As I said, we don't want any discomfort while doing the pose. The pillows come to this part of the back. This will help draw that thoracic spine back in.
Sit in front of your support at the right distance so that when you come down, your bolster's edge comes to the right place in your mid back. Have your knees bent and place the hands behind you on the floor. Gently pressurize the hands, and as you lower yourself down, lengthen the spine away from the hips. Make yourself comfortable and see that the shoulders and the hips are evenly placed on the support and on the floor. Then gently close the eyes by bringing the upper eyelids down to the lower eyelids. Straighten your legs one at a time. Relax all the muscles in the legs and allow the feet to drop out sideways. Then have the arms equally placed on either side of the body. Clench the hands into fists. Tighten all the muscles in the arms, tighten across the shoulders, and draw the shoulder blades strongly onto the back ribs and up to the ceiling. Feel the firmness come into the thoracic spine. Then relax the hands, relax all the muscles in the arms, and allow the upper arms to roll outwards so that the backs of the hands lie resting on the floor. Totally relax the arms, but keep the shoulder blades drawing up onto the back ribs and draw the upper thoracic vertebra, so from the base of the neck down towards the waist. Draw the thoracic vertebra between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, and draw the lower thoracic vertebra up towards the forehead. Feel how this automatically lifts the sternum up towards the ceiling. We want to encourage this, but keep the lower front ribs drawing down towards the spine, and keep the upper sternum drawing down towards the base of the neck. Try and keep this hold that we've created here throughout the whole exercise. Don't get frustrated if you can't follow all the instructions. Just do what you can, and as you do this exercise more and more, it will become easier and clearer how to do it. So draw the shoulder blades up to the bottom ribs, onto the bottom ribs. Widen the collarbones, so from where the collarbones meet out towards the shoulders, widen out. Totally relax the arms and the legs. From the base of the neck, we're going to redraw the upper thoracic vertebra down towards the waist, the middle thoracic vertebra up, and the bottom thoracic vertebra up to the forehead. Try to keep the abdomen as soft as possible. So allow it to soften and relax and sink down into the pelvic hollow. As you breathe out, allow the diaphragm to drop down towards the spine, and when it does that, also find it to broaden as well, so it drops outwards to the sides. So that area where the bottom front ribs meet at the bottom of the rib cage, keep drawing that area down, and when you breathe in, draw it away from the navel. So every time you breathe in, you create space between where those front ribs meet and the navel. And as you do this, notice how the ribs at the sides of the body automatically lift up. Then lift the mid-sternum, and now we go to the area where the collarbones meet. So as the front ribs are drawn down and the mid-sternum is lifted up towards the ceiling, contain the upper sternum from that area where the collarbones meet down towards the base of the neck. Then move it slightly towards the throat. Lengthen the back of the neck from the base of the neck through to the crown of the head. The neck finds a nice, easy resting position, and the throat softens. If you lift the upper sternum up towards the chin, as you lift the mid-sternum, feel how immediately there is tension in the throat and the neck. So throughout the exercise, we want to keep drawing that upper sternum down towards the base of the neck and slightly up towards the throat. By drawing the upper sternum down, watch out not to lift the lower front ribs, and just try this. If you lift the lower front ribs up, we'll find tension coming into the lower back. So keep that balance between the upper sternum and the lower front ribs drawing down towards the spine. Now imagine a cross-section going through the mid-sternum. The rib cage, the diameter of that rib cage. When we breathe in, we want to increase the diameter of that circle of the rib cage in all directions. So up to the ceiling, but also out sideways and even out downwards. When you breathe in, try to get the maximum space, the maximum diameter within the rib cage. And then when you breathe out, try not to collapse the rib cage, but keep the space within the rib cage. So the rib cage now has become quite a strong, firm, self-supporting structure. All the muscles that are working together to form this strong, firm, barrel-like structure. These muscles we want to work. And they are actually meant to work all day long. They're made for that. So we want to keep working them. We're making it easy for them because we're lying down, but relax the rest of the body. As the body relaxes more and more, the breath will become softer and smoother. Try to encourage this. With the firm structure of the rib cage, it becomes easier and easier for the body to breathe. Pressure and constriction is being taken off the lungs, the heart, and the diaphragm, so the breathing becomes very efficient and easy. Encourage the smooth inhalation and the smooth exhalation by not gulping the breath. Breathe in smoothly, allow the breath to come to a slow, smooth halt, a slight pause, and then breathe out smoothly and slowly. To stop the rib cage from collapsing when you breathe out, exercise a bit of control as you let the breath out. So don't just let it all out in one go, but do it smoothly. When you breathe in, create the space for the breath to arrive in the rib cage before it arrives, so that you don't need to use the air to push the ribs out of the way. By creating and maintaining this maximum space within the rib cage, we allow the body to become very efficient and delicate in its breathing. And naturally the body starts relaxing. Keep the throat soft, keep the abdomen soft, and keep the rest of the body soft. Enjoy the sensation of the rib cage being totally supported and the rest of the body being supported by these pillows and the ground. Let all those areas that are touching the ground and the supports, let them sink down into the ground. After the relaxation exercise, we want to come out of it very slowly. So before we do anything, we just slightly increase your in-breath, just slightly, and then just slowly move just the fingers and the toes. Keep the eyes closed, but become aware of your surroundings. Then bend the knees one at a time, stretch your right hand above the head, and roll onto your right hand side. Gently open the eyes, but keep a soft focus in the eyes. Take a few breaths there, and then use your hand, your left hand, to push yourself up, but bring your head up last. And then come to a nice, erect, seated position. The muscles that we've worked, we want to keep them engaged, so draw the upper thoracic vertebra again down to the waist. Draw the mid-thoracic vertebra through to the sternum, and draw the lowest thoracic vertebra up towards the forehead, away from the waist. Lift the sternum, but keep the lower front ribs down, keep the upper sternum drawing towards the base of the neck, and bring it up slightly towards the throat. Extend the back of the neck and keep the throat soft. Now that you've turned these muscles on, while going into the rest of your day, try to maintain the rib cage as a self-supporting structure, not a structure that draws the spine down and pulls the neck down. Good luck with this. As you do it more and more, you'll find it easier and easier, and your posture will automatically become better and better.